Hi, I'm Christy and this is MamieGraceDesigns. Episode number 13. 13 is my lucky number because that's my birthday. Okay, today I want to talk about summer knitting plans. I have tried, this is my third time to film this episode. I was in Asheville visiting a girlfriend. I tried to do it there. It wasn't any good. I kept battling to find places to do it and it just didn't work out. I went to a really cool, the Grove Park Inn, really neat historic hotel, and they were setting up for a wedding, so it was super noisy. And then I tried again when I got home, and I used this little microphone, a Rode microphone. It's supposed to be great. It's terrible for me. It just makes the worst static. I don't know. So here I am, try number 3. Take number 3. Hopefully, third time's a charm. So I want to talk about summer knitting plans because I tend to be somebody who just jumps on board the next eye candy that I see. Makes me think of that Chitty Chitty Bang Bang scene where the scary little guy is like, "Want some candy, little girl?" And they both come running and then they end up in the trap. That's how I am with new exciting knitting patterns. When I see a new one come out with a fabulous release, I'm like, oh, I need to do that one next. And I don't have enough of a plan. And so things don't happen. I don't follow through. I don't finish my projects. So I am going to try to develop an overall design scheme or action plan, maybe I should call it. And we'll see if it sticks. Because right now I have a lot of full project bags with very minimal work done on each of those projects. So I need a plan. And here's what I'm thinking I'm going to do. I have made a list of project ideas. I want to go through those and prioritize them, and then take my top 4 projects out of the list, make those my 4 that I plan to do swatches for each of them, and post them on my little board that I have over here. Let me show you. You see my thermostat and my little project board. I've got another one that needs to be mounted, and that could probably be the better one to hold all of my projects. This has my needles. This has one swatch and a possible project idea. That was a card I received from Nash Yarn Fest from the Ikigai Fiber booth. And then these are just my little mini needle packs. Okay, so my plan is to put my swatches there along with maybe a picture of the project and have an order. Like, this is my first one, second one, third one, fourth one. And as I finish, I'll roll one off and maybe roll something else up. I don't know. Or maybe I'll just wait till all 4 are done. I don't know. It's not like I ever have just 4 things going at a time. Okay. Of course, this is all theory. We'll see how it fleshes out. But it's good to have goals, right? So the number 1 item on my list is right here on my mannequin. This is the Boden V Neck by Geddy, and I started it last fall. It's still on the needles. I did not finish it, clearly, but I got a long ways. It is a sleeveless design. I think I still have an I-cord bind off to do on the neck and the arms. And let me look at it. This is a DK weight project. I did it with Knitting for Olive cotton merino, held double, and it's on a US 6 needle. It's a slightly oversized top-down design. It resembles crochet, but it's knitting. You can layer it over camisoles or a dress or wear it on its own. It calls for 2 to 4 inches of positive ease. I feel like mine's going to be a little bigger than that. Their gauge is 21 stitches and 32 rows. And I really like it. And if my plan last year was that if I liked it really well when I wore it, that I would make another one that was to my knees to have as a pool cover up. And I still love that idea. I would probably do like a hot pink, or I wouldn't mind a fluorescent even. I don't know, something bright and fun. A flamingo pink, borderline neon. So that is my number one. That is for sure happening because it's almost done. And that should complete pretty quickly, which would be really nice. Okay. Number two, let's see if I covered everything. Yeah. Number two on my list is the Blueberry Vodka Lemonade top by Thea Coleman. And I have heard all about Thea Coleman, but I have never done a project by her. And this project is fingering weight, which is great. But it does have long sleeves. It kind of looks like a sweatshirt. It's like a sweatshirt looking, it's a casual type of top, which is totally in my style. I absolutely love it. Oh, I didn't know that there's a vodka lemonade cardigan. I have to check that out too. She says it's comfy yet polished. Works top down. Has raglan details that are real pretty. A rib collar. And it's kind of got a boxy fit. It has a split hem. I really like this. She did it in a pale blue, kind of a smoky blue, and I like that a lot too. But I love this project. That's why it's on my list, because I really want to make this. But I am thinking right now, just because it's long sleeves, that it can wait. Because this weekend we're going to be in the 90s already. And it's so humid here, you just can't. Like, I dried my hair today. I might as well not have. It's been raining all day. It's so humid. Bad hair day. Okay, next I'd like to talk about the Darjeeling top, which I actually made last year. And it was just a little too small, a little too snug, a little too short. So I gave it to my daughter, and it looks really cute on her. This is a, let's see, who's the designer? Trust the Mojo. And I believe she's French, because when I went to watch her videos, I think they were all in French. And she calls this an intermediate level. And I would say it is intermediate level just because of the cast on technique. It's knit from the bottom up, which I don't love, which is probably why it was too short. And you do a double picot hem, which I loved that detail. And you do the buttonholes as you go, which I also like that. But that cast on is June's Magic Cast On, I believe. I'm looking to see if they list it. No, they don't. Somebody's Magic Cast On. June, Jane, Joan, something like that. Which you have to use 2 sets of needles to do. And I enjoyed learning a new technique. It's such a cute sleeveless top. So I like that a lot. It's a maybe. I'm not going to number it yet, but I do like it a lot. Okay, next up is the Grapefruit Pink Lady. What a name. And this is by Thea Coleman also. And I saw this vest. She's calling it a vest. I saw this at Nash Yarn Fest, and it was so cute. That's why I wanted to make it. Magpie Fibers is the yarn that she suggests, and that was probably where I saw it, was the Magpie booth, because I think I got some Magpie Fibers. Yes, I did. I got some Magpie Fibers when I was there, and I really like this yarn. I'm knitting with another project with it. This calls for a worsted weight yarn, which is 20 stitches and 28 rows with a size 6 needle. Easy knit, perfect thing to wear with a linen dress or high-waisted bottoms in spring, then layer with a longer shirt and jeans as the weather cools again. They used, I'm going to say they used wool, but I can't wear wool in the summer. It's too hot and humid here. But I think this is the cutest pattern, and this is, what am I going to make this? I'm going to make this, so this is going to be number 2 for right now. So I've got my Boden V Neck is number 1. The Grapefruit Pink Lady is number 2. And that's just a super cute top. Got that, it's got kind of an all over lace detail. And I don't like a cap sleeve, so I might put a little bit more of a sleeve on it than what she has. But I really like that a lot. Okay, next up, I have the Amy Shure Hibernate Pullover. Now, I don't even know why this is in my summertime list because this is such a fall sweater. And I love this top. It's been in my queue. I bought the yarn for it. I don't know why it didn't get made, but I love this top. Let's see. Amy Shure, I've made her campus vest. Have I done anything else? Maybe just her campus vest, but I follow her on YouTube. I love watching her videos, and I like a lot of her designs. I've purchased several of her patterns. I just haven't made them yet. Okay, so this is a DK weight pattern. She did fingering with some lace, as in mohair, which is what I will probably do with it. 21 stitches for 28 rows with a size 6 needle. And it's a moderate V-neck with a compound raglan. It's worked from the top down. Perfect wardrobe staple to take you from autumn to winter and spring again. Yeah, I love this sweater. So I'm definitely making this in the fall. And for that very reason, it's not going to be numbered in my list because I'm going to make it in the fall. It's really a summer top. I think I went through my my library and maybe some of my favorites to make this list, and I was just adding things I liked. I don't think I was really specifically looking at summer. Now I am, but anyway, that's going to wait. That one's not going to be numbered right now. Okay, the Lacey Loop Tee by Other Loops. Oh, I didn't talk about what I have on today. So let me pause on the Lacey Loop Tee. This is my High Falls Pullover by Andrea Gahn, which is releasing this week. I wore it yesterday for Mother's Day. I just love this top. I would call it a sweater, a summer sweater. I used the yarn that Andrea used in her example, and it is the Durum Natura Candide, which is a linen cotton blend with a little bit of viscose in there. It tears super easy. Like if you want to break it, it just breaks super easy, but it never broke when I was knitting. I really kind of thought it might, especially in my sewn bind off, but it did not. It held up very well. And it's super light and it almost looks like a chenille, but super light. And at first, I really didn't like knitting with it, but now I really like it. I love how light it dries so fast when I blocked it. And I blocked this multiple times in the making just to get it right. And I still didn't quite get it right. It's a little too long. My sleeves are probably a little longer than I like, but it's not so bad that I'm going to take it out and redo it. I like it. I'm really enjoying wearing it. So, you know, it's a good example of how don't jump to a conclusion about a yarn or a pattern or whatever, because at first I was like, I don't love this. And now I love it a lot. So, it is the color Azure. Took me 5 skeins. I will say Andrea writes a very nice pattern. There were no mistakes. As a matter of fact, during the knitting process, you kind of knit the back panel first, and then you add on all this, connect in the front, and then knitting around. And, you know, it's a test pattern. So you are looking to help her if there are mistakes to correct them. And somebody pointed out something was wrong, and I was like, I think I found a mistake, but I don't ever trust myself. I always think it's my mistake, not the pattern's mistake. And so I was like, I hesitate to even say this because the mistake is probably mine, but here's where I am and here's what I'm finding. And she goes, I think you need to backtrack and check yourself. And I backtracked. Of course, it was me. It wasn't the pattern. So I had to rip that section out and start over it. And honestly, I don't even know how I got there. I think I must have been very distracted. Maybe I was watching too much TV when I was knitting. I don't know. But in the end, it all came out great. Let me stand up so you can see. I hope you can see everything. I have it tucked in, but if I didn't have it tucked in, it would be this long. I like to do a little tuck. I hope that was a good, I hope you can see it well. I can't ever tell until I stop and go back and replay my video. Okay, so this is my High Falls pullover. And I will definitely make another one. I would go a little shorter on my sleeve. I might even like to have a short sleeve like that length. And I would go a little shorter on my length of my hem. I wouldn't have gone as far. Okay, so back to the other loops. Oh, did I lose it? Hang on, let me find it. The Lacey Loop Tee by Other Loops. Okay, so that is a just below the elbow sleeve, boxy lace. I mean, so similar to this top. I'm looking at one of the pictures and very similar lace, but she's got some garter stitch in between each row of lace. And so they are so similar that for that reason, I am not going to number this one. It's so similar to this top that I feel like that would be like a repeat. So that one is, that's a great top, but I'm not going to knit that. I'm not going to put that on my list right now. But I have seen lots of people recommend that one lately. It is a great summer top. Okay, next up I have the Leela top by Geddy. I love Geddy's designs. They kind of hit right in my sweet spot. They're kind of simple, kind of classic. Like this is I would call this a tank top with real thin straps right here. Now I would make this a little wider because I like to cover my bra straps. I cannot go without a bra. And, but other than that, it's got kind of a boat neck with a little bit of ribbed detail for stripes. And I love it. I love that olive green too, although I don't wear that anymore because I found out that's not a good color for me, but I have worn that color all my life. I love that color. In fact, it's funny because when I met my husband, I was wearing a dress that color. I went to a party and he was there and he goes, "I'll never forget you in that dress." So anyway, I love that color. I might still occasionally wear it. I don't know. That is a fingering weight pattern with 24 stitches and 36 rows on a size 2.5 needle. That's a lot of knitting. Size 2.5. Whew. But it's going to make it look professional because it's so small, so fine. Okay, it is a classic sleeveless summer top with a square neckline, constructed from the top down, and simple texture stitch is used throughout the pattern. Worked flat and in the round. Meant to be worn with 0 to 2.5 inches of positive ease. I will definitely go probably more than 2.5 inches. I just like my tops to not be tight. Oh, okay, so I didn't tell you this top, I actually ended up with 12 inches of positive ease. So I have more than probably, I mean, I could have gone with 8 inches and been fine. If I make this again, I'll probably go down. I might go down a size because it is so oversized. I love it, but I think I might like an option a little more fitted. Okay, so back to the Leela top. They recommend Pasquale Suave, but I don't know exactly what that yarn is. Of course, I would be doing it with a cotton linen blend of some sort. Okay, I like this top a lot. I'm going to make this my number 3 for right now. Okay, and I did ask. No, I didn't ask. Never mind. Okay, that's the Leela top by Geddy. Number 3 in my list for right now. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the Mountain Laurel top, another Andrea Gunn pattern. And I love the repeating cables in this. It's a sleeveless, I would call this a tank. She calls it a sleeveless top. It's got a nice little crew neck. I love a crew neck. She used Wandering Flock cotton lino, which is a sport weight. And she used a size 4 needle to get 27 stitches and 36 rows. It features a combination of cables and lace to create a richly textured top. Minimalistic finishing with I-cord edging lets the stitch patterns shine. The plant fibers in the yarn lend a natural drape to the fabric, while the silk in the blend gives the top an elegant, subtle sheen. Perfect for those first warm days of spring. And Andrea lives in the Asheville area. And I have to tell y'all, Asheville's beautiful. It is a neat area. It's very similar to Fayetteville, Arkansas, where the University of Arkansas is, but it's easier to get to Fayetteville. Asheville, the area around it is so steeply mountainous, and they have so many rivers and creeks that, like, when it rains, when they had that hurricane come up, it rained a bunch before the hurricane got there. And then when the hurricane squarely hit, all those high winds knocked down the trees whose roots had been weakened by all the rain. Then on top of that, there was flooding, like a record 27 feet high of flooding. And then on top of that, they had landslides. It's been 7 months, and that area has still not recovered. I wanted to go hiking while I was there, but every state park I wanted to go to, the roads were still closed 7 months later. I'm telling you, Western North Carolina still needs help and love from everybody. Anyway, that's off topic, sorry. But Andrea writes a great pattern. I love this mountain laurel top. I have never done cables with cotton, but I talked to my local yarn shop owner, Candy, and she said, I bought some Kelborn Mojave that I think would be great for this pattern. So I think for now, I'm going to make this my number 4. Okay. So I have Boden V Neck 1, Grapefruit Pink Lady 2, Leela top 3, and Mountain Laurel top 4. Okay. Moving on to the Moonset Tee by Ozetta. I follow Michelle from Easily Knitfluenced, and she just loves Ozetta. She talks about how great her pattern writing is. I've been wanting to do an Ozetta pattern. I just haven't made it happen. I've had this Moonset Tee in my favorites for a long time. So this is very much a contender, the Moonset Tee. It has a saddle shoulder construction. She did it with Knitting for Olive Pure Silk. I really do not like Knitting for Olive Pure Silk. I've made a tank top out of it, a Kutova Kika pattern, and I just did not like it. So I would really rather not knit with that. But I can do a cotton linen blend and it'd be fine. This is a classic inspired V-neck with a simple silhouette worked from the top down, has drop shoulders and I-cord finishes for a casual look, is a crop design that works well with any wardrobe. It doesn't have a collar. If it had a collar, to me, it would look like a polo shirt, but it's a V-neck with the same, to me, body style as a polo. Okay, so let's see. I think since I have so many projects still to go, that style would also be great for fall. So I'm going to hold off on that because I think that might be a fall project. It'll still stay in my I want to knit you list, just like my Hibernate Pullover and my Blueberry Vodka Lemonade top. But for now, it's not going to be numbered. Okay, next is the Polka Dot Cardigan by Midori Hirose. And I love this cardigan. I've been wanting to knit it. I've tried to knit it earlier in the end of winter, early spring, and I couldn't get gauge with the yarn that I had chosen, so it didn't happen. I do have some yarn now, that Sandnes Garn Coast, that will be perfect for it. Someone else I follow, Lena from another knitting pod, made it and just raves about it, and she's the one who really made me want to make it. But I've already got the Siri cardigan on the needles, and so this is another one that's going to have to wait for fall. But I do love that pattern. I mean, I kind of start watering in my mouth when I look at that one. I like it so much. But that'll be a fall project, another fall project. I'm going to already have my fall projects lined out before summer's over. Okay, next up is the Tanis Fiber Arts Quayside Tee. Tanis Lavallee, I have just recently discovered her, and she has quickly become one of my favorite designers. I just like her attitude in general. Like all these projects that she's been knitting lately, they base them on like rock and roll themes. It might be the band or a member of the band or a song or something. They're all kind of rock inspired, which I love. I'm a classic rock girl. So Tanis has the Quayside Tee, and it is a DK weight, and I ordered her yarn to make this. It's the Willow DK. This is the color Chris Gray, and I got a kind of a yellowy lime color to make my stripes. This is 65% mulberry silk, 35% linen, 115 grams for 224 meters or 245 yards. I ordered this, and she lives in Canada. I ordered this and I didn't know, I'd never felt it. I was ordering it blind, which is a scary thing to do, because I have ordered things like from some Colorado designers who I just love the color combinations they used, and they were super hyped by different designers, and I thought, oh yeah, and I got it, and I did not like it at all. In fact, I would not knit with it. I'm real funny about how it feels. Well, let me tell you, this feels marvelous. I am in love with this yarn. I started looking to see what other colors does she have. It's not, let me say, it is not inexpensive, but it feels so marvelous that this will be a staple in my yarn stash forevermore until I die. So I love this Quayside Tee. Have the yarn for it. I didn't really describe it to you. It's a striped pattern, and this gray and yellow is not a color combo I would normally do. She helped me pick it out. I saw something on her site that inspired me to go with that because she had something similar. She didn't still have the same exact colors, but she helped me pick these out. So I'm excited to try a different color combo than what I normally go with. Let's see, her description of this is, if I had $1 for every time I described one of my summer knits as easy breezy, I could retire. But how else can I describe how it feels to wear a drapey silk linen tee with a pretty peekaboo cable side detail? It's literally the definition of easy breezy, and I stand by it. The Quayside Tee is exactly what I want to be wearing during the summer months, and I think you'll like it too. It's knit flat from the bottom up and then seamed. So I'm going to tell you, I chose this pattern before I read that detail. It's flat and it's bottom up. The two things that I just don't love doing. But I love the yarn and I really like the pattern, so I'm going to do it. And I'm just going to go for it, and I'll let you know afterwards how I feel about that, if it was worth it or not. It's worn with 8 inches of positive ease, which is right in my sweet spot. And she used this yarn. So that is definitely going on my list. Let's see. I am going to make this my number 2. So I've got number 1 is Boden V Neck. Number 2 is going to be Quayside Tee. I've already got the yarn for it. I got to do it. And so let's see. So I'll bump Grapefruit Pink Lady to number 3. And the Leela top to number 4. And Mountain Laurel top to number 5. Okay. That's where we'll be right now. Okay, let's keep going. Next coming up is the Rota Sleeveless top by Irene Lynn. So I've got the Rota Sleeveless top and I've got the Rota jumper, which is like basically the sleeveless top with sleeves. This is a worsted weight. Actually, let's see. The jumper, the one with sleeves, is Aran weight. Okay, the fact that it's Aran weight, that pretty much takes it out of summer. That's just too hot for me. So that could be a fall project. That'd be nice for fall. The Rota Sleeveless top is worsted weight. I can deal with that in a cotton linen blend. The sleeveless top, Rota Sleeveless top, is worked by knitting the back first, and then both fronts are picked up and knitted separately. Some short rows are worked for the shoulder shaping, and after joining in the front, after joining both pieces, the front is worked flat, and then the back is worked flat, and then they're joined in the round at the hem, where you pick up stitches and knit it in the round. That's really interesting. It's an interesting construction. That's very different than anything else I've seen, so that'll be a fun new adventure. I love this Rota top. Kristen from Where We Knit has made at least one of these, and hers is so cute on her. So I'm going to add that to the list. I'll put that right underneath the Mountain Laurel top. So I think that's number 6 right now. Okay, moving on. Rota jumper, I moved that to fall. the Tolsta Tank by Rebecca Clow. I love Rebecca Clow. She is so fun to watch. I watch her YouTube channel, and let me tell you, she talks so fast and with that thick Scottish accent. I'm usually about 3 seconds behind her, understanding her. I'm all, like, when she pauses, it's great because I tend to catch up with whatever she's saying. I think she's an amazing designer. I love how she gives you so many options with one pattern. She's very generous with her pattern designs. For example, in this Tolsta Tank, you have a crew neck, a square neck, and a V-neck. And that square neck has, I think, 2 different looks to it. Let's see. And now she just did one in stripes and one solid, so it looks kind of different. But I have never seen, oh, and she did one that's like a vest. Maybe she, the V-neck, she made it into a vest, okay? I mean, have you ever seen a designer that gives you that? 4 different designs out of one pattern? I really haven't. Okay, Santa's Garden, she used Santa's Garden Leela, which I love, the Leela. It's a DK weight with 17 stitches and 27 rows with a US 8 needle, so that's gonna go really fast. The Tolsta Tank is a companion to the Tolsta Tee. I think I have the Tolsta Tee in my favorites, but for summertime, I like tank tops. It's worked from the bottom up, I didn't know that, with 3 options for the neck shaping. Told you about those already. All versions are started the same, and you can decide once the working body version, once you've worked the body, you can decide which neck you want to do. It comes in both a DK and a 4-ply weight. Okay, another option for you, and has shaping options for bust darts. How awesome is she? There are endless customization options. You can add I-cords, you can do folded straps, you can do lace, you can do color work, you can do stripes. It's a blank canvas for your creativity. Once you've purchased the pattern, you will have access to 7 documents, an intro page with details on sizing, gauge, etc., and then 1 document for each of the versions, as in Tulsa Vest DK or Tulsa Cami 4-ply, etc. And she even includes guidelines on making the V not quite so deep if you are more modest. Such a considerate and generous designer. So this is definitely high on my list. I'm going to make this number 3 under the Quayside Tee. Okay, I actually bought yarn at Nash Yarn Fest to make this with. I had this pattern in mind when I bought it. I got 2 different colors that I'm going to hold together, and marl. This is Mint Condition and Mischief. I love those names. Magpie Fibers Equinox. Sport weight yarn that's silk and linen, and this feels wonderful. Tanis's yarn feels better. Just saying. My opinion. This is just a little bit more tightly wound. Hey, Hank. Shh. And this one maybe is a little bit more loosely. I don't know, but this feels better. This will make a marvelous top. I'm excited about it. So I have yarn for that Tolsta Tank. Okay, let's keep going. We have a lot of projects to talk about. Okay, next I have the Tulsa Tank by Blue Sky Fibers. And this is a sleeveless top. It's worked at a worsted weight, in a worsted weight yarn. 17 stitches with 22 rows in a US 9 needle, so that'll go fast. It's knit flat from the bottom up and seamed. Why don't I read my project instructions before I put them on a list? It's a fitted tank, and it's a quick summer knit. I'm sure it is because it's on a 9. It can be worn alone or under a jacket. This has been on my favorites for a while. I think what I like is that kind of fitted look. I love that high-waisted ribbing that's a little more fitted. I think that's a really classy look and timeless. But I have so many projects already on my list that I think I'm going to have to leave that one off and save that for fall or next spring. Okay, next I have the Home Camisole. This is another K-tree top. She suggests Cardiff cashmere, which I've always heard wonderful things about. I've never had my opportunity to put my hands on it. Obviously, I am not going to use cashmere for the summertime here. It's a DK weight pattern, 22 stitches and 32 rows with a US 6 needle. And she says this is a wardrobe staple. The Home Camisole by Kadri is, she knits it, she suggests Cardiff cashmere, which I've never been fortunate enough to feel or get my hands on, but I understand it is fabulous stuff. I will not be using cashmere, but a linen cotton blend, and this is a DK weight pattern. She suggests 22 stitches and 32 rows with a size 6 needle, size 6 needle, yeah. This is a wardrobe staple, extremely soft and comfortable to wear close to the skin, made to upgrade your everyday essential garments. Constructed from the top down, giving it an advantage for adjusting the length of the body. Simple stockinette is used throughout the pattern and it is framed along the V-neck, arms, and waist with an I-cord edging. Meant to be worn with 0 to 2 inches of positive ease. I think this is a really nice looking in. The straps are just wide enough to cover my bra straps. Thank you very much. Love this pattern. Okay, I'm going to add it to the bottom of my list. I kind of wish it was higher up. Next is the Sabai top. And I have this yarn out because I bought this at Nash Yarn Fest. It is a raw silk, and I love the color, and it is just the right amount for the Sabai top. So I took the pattern with me and had specific items in mind to purchase for. And that is why I purchased this pink. I love this soft baby pink silk. It is, the Sabai top is by Suzanne Mueller. It is a DK weight pattern, 20 stitches and 28 rows with a US 6. It is a boat neck, and it has a nice wide where the front and back meet, so that's great. She does 2 different designs. You can do a ribbed neck or you can just do a rolled neck. Let's see. Sabai is a light and airy summer top with a boat neckline. It is super easy to knit, requires only a few techniques, and is therefore ideal for beginners. You can do it with ribbed borders or 100% stockinette, so it will roll. It works seamlessly from the top down. First, the neckline border is worked in the round in a 1x1 rib stitch pattern, and increases are worked for the slanted shoulders. For the armholes, front and back parts were worked separately, back and forth. The stitches of front and back are then joined and worked in the round again. The top ends with a narrow ribbed border or with a rolled edge. And you can try it on as you are knitting it to choose your length. It can be worn snug with not even an inch of positive ease. But it also works well with a little more room, which is what I would do. And she suggests 2 to 3 inches. I would definitely go a little more than 3 inches. She lists several different yarns, and one of them is a cotton linen mix, which is great because that's what I want. So I love this top. I think it's so classy looking, simple, elegant, and I have yarn for it. So I'll put that underneath the home cami. My list is too long. I'm trying to get it down to 4. Okay, now I'm to the Geddy Tee, which is another Tanis Lavely or Tanis Fiber Arts pattern. This is a DK weight pattern. I love her little granny squares that make the saddle shoulder, and those are crocheted, and then you knit the rest of it, and it's a V-neck with a rib. I just love this top. I'm in love with this top. So while I was in Asheville, okay, this is a DK weight, 22 stitches and 28 rows with a US 6 needle. Let me read the description, then I'll show you my yarn. There's something about a saddle shoulder construction that I find so effortlessly cool. It's a casual everyday top, but she is never one to shy away from a pop of color, so this unexpected placement has thoroughly won her over. She has 10 inches of positive ease. DK weight. So I went to the Black Mountain Yarn Shop. Now let me grab my yarn. Let's see who makes this. Can't remember. Oh, Ritual Dyes. And is this the Undine? Yes, Undine DK. This is the natural, so there's no color applied to this. This is going to be my main body color. And then for the granny squares, now I bought whole skeins knowing that I would have a whole lot left over. And I'm planning to make a striped something with it. It could be, Andrea Gahn has another pattern for a little tank top or a sleeveless V or a sleeveless top that would be really, and it has little very fine stripes that could be really cute with this. Or I could find another pattern, who knows? But these are the colors that will make up my granny squares. I have no idea what order I will go in. I just picked these up. I mean, it could be this. Some people I've seen have like worked from the inside out, and with each one they rotated it like this. So the next one, this would be middle and out and on. You see what I mean? Middle, working your way out. Now, Stephanie from Edible Thoughts makes, I love her color combinations, and she did a granny square cardigan, and I might have to look and see exactly how she did her colors because it had a very nice cohesiveness to it. It was a palette. She stayed within a palette, but the way she mixed them looked really fantastic. Now I'm looking at Tanis's, and like on her first one, she's got yellow on the outside. On the second one, she's got yellow middle, like third row. On her, that's on one shoulder. On the opposite shoulder, she's got one that's like mostly creams and yellows with just a pop of blue in the middle, and then like a green teal on the outside and a little yellow. So she's completely, every square is completely different. I don't know what I want. That's a fun thing to play with. Color combinations can make or break it to me. So, and again, this is that Ritual Dyes Undine, which, let's see. Undine is 60-40 organic cotton and linen. And it's a little crisp feeling, but it's not rough by any means. This is a Portland company. I have definitely heard of them, but I have never gotten to knit with them. So that's a fun thing. Black Mountain is a cute little town about 20 minutes outside of Asheville. And I've always heard about it, but had never been there. And not only did I enjoy the yarn shop, and the ladies there were wonderful. They spent quite a bit of time with me helping pick out my colors. We talked about options. If I didn't want to buy the whole skein, which was expensive, I could have bought some little mini skeins, but they didn't have all the colors that I wanted. And in the end, I decided that I have a lot of options after the granny squares with all that yarn to do something fun with it. But also, while they were winding it, I went and shopped around the rest of the town, and there was a cute little home goods store, and I bought this ceramic. I couldn't resist this little sheep. Look how cute it is. The artist's name is Sarah Meadows, and she calls her company Saramics. And I just think this little sheep is just adorable. And this thing is heavy. So her construction method is that she blows up a balloon and then puts the clay on the outside of the balloon. And after she has it to where she likes it, then she paints it and glazes it and fires it. And I actually thought that these legs were metal, but they're just ceramic also. They sound interesting. I don't know why it's so heavy, but it is. And I just love it. She had all kinds of little animals. She had some cows. I think she had some owls. I can't remember what else. After I went to the little home goods, they had quilts in there. They had machined quilts and handmade quilts, depending on how much you wanted to spend, because the machine-made quilts are not so expensive. The handmade quilts were $1,200 and up. But it's nice to have handmade things that are available, because that doesn't happen very often. I also went next door to a glass shop, and they do classes there. And then they sell pieces. I bought 2 little glass eggs. I have a little bit of an Easter egg collection I put out every year at Easter, and I'm going to start trying to add to it and then split it in half and give it to my girls. I did that I had a Santa collection years ago, and when they got old enough, when they got out of college, I split that Santa collection in half and gave them each half of it, and that gave them, good Christmas decorations right off the bat, because you don't have a lot when you first move out on your own. And then next to that shop, there was a really cute store that was all like soaps, freshly made liquid soap, like hand soap, detergent. I bought some dog wash, and I bought some dish soap, and I have not used that yet, but I'm looking forward to it. And one thing that was neat, it was an old building, like maybe a garage or something that had been, not a garage, a gas station that had been repurposed. And this whole town is just very charming, so quaint and pretty. And they had a whole shelf full of old glass bottles. I mean, not old, but like maybe you had spaghetti for dinner last night and you washed the jar that had your spaghetti sauce in it, and you brought it in and left it there. And that was what I used to take my dish soap home, because I already have a dispenser for my dish soap. They do sell dispensers there that you can buy with their soaps, but you pay a little more for it. But you could also use this recycled. And so I used the recycled. There was no fee for that. And, you feel like you're making something work, keeping something out of a landfill. So that was neat. Loved Black Mountain. And I just saw a little bit of it. I feel like there was more. I didn't see all of it. Okay, that is the Geddy Tee. So I have yarn for the Geddy Tee. So the Geddy Tee needs to be on the list. Okay, so if I start trying to narrow down, let's see. So let's look at our list. I had Boden V Neck 1, Quayside Tee 2, Tolsta Tank 3, Grapefruit Pink Lady 4, Leela Top 5, Mountain Laurel 6, Rota Sleeveless 7, Home Cami 8, Geddy Tee 9. Okay, so I want to get down to 4. I started with 17 projects, so I have cut it in half. But let's refine it a little more. Okay, I'm going to put the Leela top and the Mountain Laurel top aside for now. I do love that Rota. It's a tough call. Okay, so the Boden V-neck, I'm going to call that a tank top. The Quayside Tee, I'm going to add sleeves, so that's going to be like a short sleeve. I love that Grapefruit Pink Lady. I would call that a tank, but I'm going to keep the Tulsa Tank. So I'm going Boden V-neck, Quayside Tee, Tulsa Tank, and I think my number 4 is going to be the Geddy Tee. Okay. I'm going to stop there with my list. And I am going to swatch. So Boden V-neck, I'm not going to swatch because I've already got it going. I need to finish it up. I will be working on a swatch for my Quayside Tee. And I'm just going to confess that my Tolsta Tank, I've already started, but I haven't gotten very far. It's kind of a mess. Here we go. I hope you can see that. Hope that's focusing. Haven't gotten far at all. Like 3 rows. I started that right after I got back from Nash Yarn Fest, and then I haven't touched it. I have not swatched for it. You know what? I might actually do a swatch to make sure, because I know I didn't swatch. I didn't. I'm going to swatch for the Tolsta. And for the Geddy, I'm probably going to just do a granny square. Working on my color. I'll do a granny square and a swatch for that. And then we will come back and regroup. And so next episode, I will have swatches on my board, and we'll talk about those. And maybe I'll be done with my Boden V-neck, because that doesn't lack a whole lot. I need to try it on. Let's see. I still have a lot of baby blankets to make. So some of my best friends are having grandbabies, and some of my daughter's best friends are having babies. So I have 6 baby blankets to make right now before September. 2 I need to do this month. 2 I need to do in June. 1 in July, 1 in August. That's achievable, but then I've got tops to work on also. I have no test knits, so that's good. That takes a little bit of pressure off. But this is the beginning of, so my friend Debbie, her daughter-in-law, they just had their baby. His name's Nico, precious little thing, little boy. And their room is very 70s looking. So I think this is kind of a 70s looking-ish pattern that I think she will like. This yarn is very soft. Let's see, what am I using? I wrote it all down in my knitter's notebook today. Okay, this is a Pearl Soho pattern. It's a shawl kind of pattern, but I'm making it into a baby blanket. I tried, the pattern actually calls for holding the yarn double, and I did that and I didn't like it at all, so I tore it out. And it was so difficult to tear out, I just threw it all away. So I started over holding the yarn single, and it feels really good. It's not going to be, you know, a double-sided blanket, which my blankets usually are double-sided. This one is going to be a one-sided, but it's so much in the style of her room and her house that I think it's worth it. I am using, let's see, these are Chalgu bamboo needles in size 4. And my main color is this cream, and that is a Malabrigo Arroyo in the color Natural. And then my contrast color number 2, I'm holding 2 yarns together. I'm marling them. I don't even know what they are. I don't have tags. I have no idea. But they look really cool together. And again, very 70s looking. Who didn't grow up? I grew up with avocado green, like cabinets or carpet or something. That avocado green is like, says 70s to me. That's my second contrast color. My first contrast color is this La Bien-Aimée Rust. La Bien-Aimée Merino Super Sock in the color Rust. And then my third contrast color is Sandless Garden Sunday in the color Camel. And then my fourth contrast color is this Emma's yarn in Practically Perfect Halves in the color Buttonwood. So all these colors are from her baby room. And to me, that says 70s. I think it'll go perfectly with her vibe. I just got to get it done. I'm going to have this kind of funky trim on both ends, and then solid cream, and then more of this. And I like to make what I call a car seat blankie. So it's maybe 18 by 24-ish. And you just put it on them when you're going to the store. Grocery store, Target, whatever. You throw that on them. That is what I like to make as far as my set gift for baby blankets. So I have my list. I have at least one baby blanket going. Going to try to finish that this month. And that's it for today. Hopefully this third time took. I have a gentleman here working on my house because we got hit by lightning and all of our electronics got wiped out, and we've had no TV for about a month and a half now. And it was a very big insurance claim. I mean, very big. It wasn't like my house burned down, but it was a big, for electronics, it was pretty big. And he's here installing all that today, and I got interrupted a little while ago, but I'm editing that out. You hopefully will never know. And I'm going to work on getting this edited and up. Third time's a charm. One last thing I meant to mention. I have on another Meg Made It necklace. I absolutely love this little star. And these clear beads, they go with everything. Today I subbed at school and I proctored an AP calculus exam. And I had 2 high school girls tell me, number 1, that she liked my glasses, and number 2, that she liked my necklace. It's a big compliment when a teenager says it. Okay. Had to tell you. Oh, by the way. That's my oh, by the way segment for today. I think I told you everything I wanted to say. Thanks for being with me today, and I will see you again soon. Bye.
These are some clips from my recent scentwork dog trial, in case you wondered what a dog trial looks like. There were over 450 dogs entered in this scentwork trial that lasted on a Friday, a Saturday, and a Sunday. And we're all waiting our turn to go into that metal building and be tested. And in the meantime, you wait in your car, you wait outside, you find a place to just hang out and wait that keeps your dog calm.
Hanky, are you ready to do some more searching? Addie, where are you? There's Addie. Got some messy hair, Addie. This is our little tunnel. We have shades on the windows to keep us cool, although today's actually cool. But it also keeps my dogs calm to not see all the action out there. And I got the back window open for airflow. Addie just comes along. Scott's out of town, and I didn't want to leave her at home. We left the house at 5 a.m. yesterday, and we got home at 4 p.m. So I brought Addie so she wouldn't be at home for 11 hours. Yesterday we actually did competitions underneath that little pavilion, but today we're not, and so people are set up there, which would be nice if it was sunny, but it's not. It's cold today. I'm cold. I didn't wear enough clothes. Hello, I'm Christy, and this is MamieGraceDesigns. Today I am coming to you from Asheville, North Carolina. I came to visit a girlfriend, and she's working today, and I took a moment to come visit the Grove Park Inn, which I've never been here before. I've been to Asheville I think this is my 4th trip, and I love visiting the Biltmore Estate, but I had never heard of the Grove Park Inn, and her husband Jeff told me about it, and here I am. It's fabulous. It's very craftsman style, old. In fact, this is where the Vanderbilts stayed when they came to visit Asheville the first time, and then he saw the land that he wanted to build his estate on. And it is just a really neat old historic building. I love it. It's a little noisy. I think they're setting up for a wedding. They're putting up a big tent. So I'm just saying hello from here, and then I'm gonna go to my friend Cheryl's house and film where it's a little quieter. But just had to share this beautiful scenery with you. This place is historic and amazing. And now the sun's coming out. When I got here, it was a little overcast, but the grounds are stunning. This hotel had fallen into disrepair, and a Texas family purchased it and brought it back to its original glory. That is just too noisy. Gonna move on, but it's beautiful. Look at those mountains.